everyone. My name is Ryan Delgado. I'm the current aquatics coordinator here at the El Segundo Plunge. I just want to say thank you for coming out. It's not very often that a building turns 75 years old, especially a building with as much rich history as the El Segundo Plunge, otherwise famously known as the Urho Saari Swim Stadium. Swimmers from all over the state, nation, and world have swam at this pool. Tonight, we are here to recognize El Segundo's own community of swimmers, their historic achievements, and the bright future that lies ahead for El Segundo Aquatics. Just to give you all a brief history of the plunge was commissioned in August of 1938. Plans for the pool were submitted by architect John C. Austin and approved by the Works Progress Administration. The plans included a 60 by 70 foot pool, as well as a wading pool that is 20 by 48 feet. After years of extensive work, the plunge had its grand opening on Thursday, November 13th in 1941. On its opening, the plunge was considered one of the best pools in Southern California. Modern features included excellent lighting above the deck, crystal clear water giving the pool a delightful effect, while a state-of-the-art heating system kept the swimmers warm. That night, the director of the plunge, Urho Saari, was introduced to the crowd. It only took Urho a few years to make his impression on the El Segundo Aquatics community. In a few short years, Saari was able to take a group from the high school to the Helsinki Olympics in 1952. The Olympic success continued on with El Segundo residents like Jim Norris, Jack Spargo, Bob Hughes, and Bill Dornblazer, to name a few, joining Saari on his pursuit of Olympic success. When Saari retired, he coached El Segundo to 18 CIF championships, 12 in water polo and 6 in swimming. 18 of Saari's pupils would go on to swim or play water polo at the Olympics and Pan American Games. His eldest son, Roy, won a gold medal and set the world record in the 800-meter freestyle relay at the 1964 Olympics in Tokyo. All in all, Saari instructed and taught over 8,000 swimmers during his tenure at the plunge. In honor of his accomplishments and dedication to the community of El Segundo, the plunge was renamed the Urho Saari Swim Stadium in June of 1973. Right now, I'd like to bring up Commissioner Lee Davis, a former swimmer of Urho's. So if everyone can, round of applause for Lee.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you all for being here today. We truly do appreciate it. As a commissioner of the Recreation Parks Commission and also a member of the South Bay Sports Health and Recreation Foundation, they asked me to talk a little bit not only about the past, as rich as the past is, and truthfully, a lot of the stories you heard about the accomplishments of the swimmers and water polo players, not really the true story, but more the interior stories about everything that happened during those times and about the people and the friendship and their accomplishments within the community is what we're talking about today. As we talk about the past and how we're trying to transition into the future, in 1942, this pool was built by the WPA. 1946, Urho Saari had his first senior class, which we had Walt Puffer here tonight, one of my neighbors and truly one of the great people I've ever known. And his aquatics background and his just persona is one of the things that I would try to emulate in my life, because as aquatics people, we strive to be a little bit more. As you moved on from the pool being built, Urho Saari, it took him a very short time to get to the 52 Olympics with the water polo team. As we look to the future, hopefully with the new pool, the new aquatic center in El Segundo, we're going to look at aquatics programs and a facility that will be as state-of-the-art as this was 75 years ago. The South Bay Sports Health and Recreation Foundation is started by Richard Lundquist, which I'd like to get a big hand to. He has enlisted Sherry Kramer, who sits right over there in the blue dress, as basically one of the primary people responsible for raising $3 million for the new pool, and they've committed to $6 million, or I should say we've committed to $6 million to the pool so that we can see an aquatic stadium similar to what this was thought of 75 years ago, and hopefully to bring aquatics back up to the standard that Urho Saari and many of the people who had the accomplishments of 52 into 64 and along those lines, so that we could see El Segundo rise as an aquatic power again. So, With that, the pitch would be, if you'd like to donate, we do have flyers and stuff like that. But more importantly, tonight, I'd like you to sit down and talk to a lot of these people that came out tonight, a lot of the Olympians like the McElroys and the Dornblazers. You know, it's just some classic individuals. Talk about classic individuals. We got Ted Clare sitting back there. Get a few stories from him. And just enjoy the night. We do thank you all for coming. And I'd like to turn it back over to Ryan Delgado. And real quick, if I could get a round of applause. Ryan Delgado put this all together for the last year. And I know that it's been tough, but thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Lee. You gave me back my sheet so I can remember what I was saying. So, lots of rich history at the Plunge, so I just want to thank you all for coming. It's been a really fun year kind of digging into the history of the Herald and all the different swimmers and, you know, starting in 1938 and getting to here we are today. So I just want to thank you all for attending. Council, Recreation Commission, Richard Lundquist, Sherry Kramer, and most importantly, all the swimmers who dedicated countless hours in this pool and the greatness they achieved. The contributions made here tonight will go a long way towards the future of El Segundo Aquatics, so please join me in celebrating the past 75 years this evening, and we'll continue to look to the future and success, and let's dive into another 75 years of greatness. So thank you all.